resources and opportunities. If you want to keep women safe, you can't just get muscles and a gun and walk up and down the street like Batman. Batman would do more to protect Gotham if he redistributed the wealth, unionized all his, and turned over the means of production to the masses of Gotham. That would make him a true hero. So we find across the board, nations that have a more equitable distribution of wealth, resources, and opportunities have less violence towards women. Another thing, education, for specifically prioritizing education for women. And I don't mean schooling and training for jobs. That's another thing. We think training, we don't understand the difference between training and education. And I'm not even going to get into that because time's right enough. But look up what true education is. As Bobby E. Wright taught us, education means to bring out. So education isn't just about women getting job and training, girl boss, hashtag girl boss. No. Education is about women being able to fully cultivate themselves. A lot of times, and you talk to women, and I've talked to women with PhDs, women where they are able to not just get information and data, but being able to process that as women. A lot of times women get into places of higher education and they, by structure, by force, they have to just start mimicking men. Like I knew this sister, she was a brilliant mathematician and she went into Wall Street and she got a mentor who was another woman. They gave her a woman who was a mentor. She was working on Wall Street. I met her in New York and her and this woman would go to these steakhouses and smoke cigars and eat rare, raw, bloody steaks. And she said her female mentor would tell her about being a shark and basically saying, you got to mimic these fucking sick men. We women have to become or mimic sick men in order to thrive in this environment. Eventually, she left the corporate structure because even though she had schooling, even though she had training, she wasn't truly educated. Her true self was not allowed to emerge and thrive. So then she went into teaching and became an educator, and I guess teaching other young black mathematicians to go into that madness. But true education. Another thing, abortion. Reproductive rights, but I don't like all this flowery language. I'm pro-choice and no, abortion. Women need the capacity to end pregnancy. Pregnancy, especially multiple pregnancies or unplanned pregnancy or coerced pregnancy, is a big part of not only trapping women in violence and exploitative relationships, it is also a grand preventer of women leaving exploitative and abuse. So if you really want to protect women, allow them to terminate pregnancy on demand without apology. And any universal healthcare program should fully cover reproductive rights. But I don't like saying abortion. I don't like saying pro-life or reproductive health. Abortion. There's nothing wrong with abortion. Any woman that wants an abortion should be able to get it. And if you really want to protect women and you oppose abortion, you're full of shit. And if you be like, no, I just against abortion, especially if you don't have the capacity to get pregnant and you anti-abortion, you are the fucking problem. You're the dude we're talking about. Even if you don't put your hands on women, you support a structure and infrastructure and policies that oppress women. Secularism. This is another one you don't like. If the society is not wholly secular, then you are not protecting women. You do better than out here again walking up and down the street hoping to be a champion for some strange woman. You do better to make sure that the church and religious institutions do not gain political, social, cultural, or economic power. Secularism protects women. Religiosity, theocracies harm women. The more theocratic influence or power that the church, I don't give a name to religion, even those Eastern religion, Hinduism and Buddhism, devalue and target and abuse women. So secularism, end shame and repression of sexuality. Especially women's sexuality, but sexuality across the board. If you look at the societies that have the highest level of shame and sexual repression and sexual shaming, you will find that those are the societies that have the highest levels of sexual abuse. You go to those societies where women are covered, their heads are covered, their eyes are covered, and in those women, you go to those modest societies, and purity culture harms women. And finally, last line of defense, self-defense. Women should be trained in self-defense techniques and strategies. And I don't just mean karate. I mean in terms of spatial awareness, have protocols for protection. You know, my wife and I have all these little rules. We've been together 20 years. Or where you call and let me know, I let you know where I'm going. And when I'm out of town, there's certain things you do. When you're out of town, there's certain things. So just having a self-defense ideology, a self-defense protocols and culture. And even if you don't know anything, like, what do you mean? And like I said, it ain't just about carting a pistol around. A lot of times, even women that are armed, the gun becomes a weapon against them. The gun people own in this system is more likely to hurt them or their loved ones than some creep in the bushes. And listen, if you think an abortion is killing a baby, you should not have an opinion on abortion because you don't know anything about human anatomy, human physiology, human development, fetal development. You don't know a goddamn thing. So anybody that says that talks about killing babies and abortion is unworthy or is too goddamn ignorant to have an opinion about women's reproduction. So you really need to go sit your ass down if you are on here talking about killing babies. If you calling a fetus, if you calling a zygote a baby, you don't know a goddamn thing about human anatomy. And I hope every time your raggedy ass talk about abortion kills babies, I hope every time you go to church's chicken and say, I want to buy a chicken, they throw a raw egg at your face because an egg is a chicken. If a zygote is a baby. Oh, now you want to call it a human process. Again, like I said, go study basic reproductive anatomy and physiology. I don't even think you're worthy to have children, your damn self, if you're that goddamn ignorant. But I digress. This is the Bro Diallo Show. Like, share, subscribe. I know y'all want to get to the topic. Now we to the topic, and I couldn't talk about all the side shit I wanted to get into. Politics is nothing more than an attempt to secure and allocate resources within a structure. We should all engage in politics in a way that speaks to the best interest of our community, our race, and our larger, broader agendas. And get out your emotions. Get out your emotions. So moving on. This Wednesday, Skip Coon and I will be back with the Rational Radicals, and Fridays we'll be back with